TNR Essential Instructions. Catch a feral cat in an automatic trap. Video by Vladimir Kitten Project. The feral cats must be hungry on trapping day. Make sure the cat's feeder knows ahead of time what day trapping will happen so that they don't feed the cats that day sometime before you arrive to trap. It is okay for the cats to be fed on the day before trapping day. Automatic traps can differ from each other in the way they work. It is usually fairly obvious how an automatic trap works, but if you're unsure, find a video tutorial online showing how to set that particular trap by doing an online search of the brand name. Often you are looking for a small hook to swivel so that it holds up a crossbar. The hook is connected to a rod which is connected to the pedal. With this trap, first the metal piece is pushed up. Then this piece is pushed forward. The door is lifted up, and the hook is swiveled to hold up the crossbar on the door. When the pedal is stepped on by the cat, the rod is pulled, the hook is pulled out from under the crossbar, and the door slams shut. Set and trigger the trap multiple times so that you are confident you know how it operates and that it works. Don't practice setting and triggering a trap at the trapping location because of the unnecessary noise of the traps going off. When you arrive at the trapping location, you want the cats to feel that it is a normal day, so avoid making excessive noise or gestures that might alert the cats that something unusual is about to happen. A trap needs bait to entice the cat to enter. The food must not be in a glass or ceramic dish because it could shatter in the commotion the cat makes when the trap door slams, and then the cat might get cut. Use a small plastic or metal dish, or if you don't have one of those, fold a piece of paper and put the food on that. The dish must not be so large that it doesn't fit behind the pedal of the trap. The dish must not be so shallow that it could slide underneath the pedal of the trap and stop it from triggering. So, definitely don't place the food on a plastic lid. There is a hierarchy of bait in terms of how alluring it is to cats. Starting from the bottom is dry cat food, canned cat food, tuna or sardines, cooked chicken skins or beef scraps, smoked salmon skins, barely cooked bacon, still pale and soft. The type of bait you use depends on how hard you think you have to motivate the cat to venture into the trap. Is the cat fairly confident? Has it never seen a trap before? For a trap-ignorant cat, dry food will probably be enough. Is the cat very skittish? Has it seen its friends being trapped and is therefore wary of traps? For a trap-wise cat, the bait should be more tempting than dry food. As you TNR a colony, the cats will become trap-wise as they witness their friends being kidnapped, so you will need to increase the appeal of the bait in order to convince them to go in the traps. The other thing to think about is that the smellier the bait, the better it lures cats to the area. If the feral cat is punctual, then drawing him in is not such an issue. If the feral cat is not dependable time-wise, then using tuna or another strong-smelling bait will help lure him and make trapping happen in a timely manner. At the trapping location. The dish of food is placed at the back of the trap so that the cat will step on the pedal while going to eat. If the trap is of the type that has a back door, always make sure that it is locked before you use the trap. A trap cover, which can be any old sheet or large piece of fabric, is draped over the top of the trap so that it is touching the ground on 3 sides, leaving only the trapdoor visible. Make sure the back of the trap is well draped. If the trap is an easy set trap, it will need to be draped differently from most traps. The handle on top cannot be covered because that would impede it from closing the door when the trap is triggered, and this would result in a cat escaping. So, a trap cover has to be close pegged around the trap in a way that leaves the handle its full range of movement. Be careful not to place the closed pegs where they would hinder the trapdoor from closing, because that would lead to a cat's escape. If the trapdoor is made of wire as opposed to solid metal, you will have to consider how you want to drape it. You can have the trap cover go up to only the edge of the trap, which would mean the trapped cat could see out of the trap and be seen inside it by other cats, and then when you return to the trap and find a cat in it, you would adjust the sheet to cover the door. Or, you could loosely roll the fabric up and set it above the door, and hopefully it will unfurl when the trap is triggered, keeping the cat inside more secluded. That would keep the cat inside calmer, and it would also block it from the view of other ferals yet to be caught. The less the unfixed ferals can see of their friends being trapped, the easier they are to catch. Be careful that the entrance to the trap is not draped in a way that might prevent the door from successfully closing. The bottom corners of the door must not be covered because of the risk of them snagging on the trap cover. If the fabric stops the door from fully closing, the cat will escape and then be trapwise. If the trap has a solid door, then there is no concern about covering it. The reason for the trap cover is to keep the cat calm. If there is no cover on the trap, the cat will be fighting for its life and won't give up. You don't want the cat to be terrified and to bash itself up badly. So, the trap cover goes on before the trap is set. It stays on the trap all night. It stays on as you deliver the cat to the vet the next morning. It stays on when you pick up the cat after surgery. And it stays on until you've released the cat back to its colony later that day. In short, if a cat is in a trap, it is covered up. The trap is set where the cat has been trained to come and eat, which should be flat ground in a safe area. The cat's water dish should be left available to them as usual. The trap cannot be left unattended where it is at risk of being stolen or having the cat stolen along with the trap. If it is a public space, then the trapper will have to watch the trap from a distance. The trap cannot be left where it is at risk of being struck by a vehicle. You can use orange cones to be extra safe if you want to. Once you have situated the trap, place a tiny bit of food at the entrance of the trap to encourage the cat to enter. You do not want to place so much food at the entrance that the cat's hunger is satisfied by just eating that. The trap must be checked frequently to see if there is a cat in there. If the trapper and the property owner are not one and the same person, perhaps the trapper can enlist the property owner to check the trap and contact her with updates. If the trapper is going to stay on location, she can watch the traps while staying out of sight of the cats. If the trapper is not going to stay on location, and if the trap is set in summer and in direct sunlight, it must be checked at least every 2 hours so that a caught cat doesn't overheat. If the trap is set in cold weather, it must be checked at least every 2 hours so that a caught cat isn't sitting on cold metal wire and unable to generate body heat because of limited room for movement. The only time it is safe for a trap to be left set for several hours unattended is if it is on private property with no risk of theft, the weather is warm, and the trap is in the shade the entire time. Bearing in mind the rules about monitoring the trap, also understand that it would not be helpful if a person is running outside every 15 minutes to check if a cat has been caught, because they will be interrupting the cat from entering the trap. The cat needs a bit of time to make the decision to enter the trap. If you are going to leave and return later, then hopefully the traps will be full when you return. If you are staying to monitor the situation, you can remove the traps as they catch cats and put them somewhere quiet, out of the sun, and away from the loose cats. This would minimize the possibility of the trapped cat tipping off his friends about what is going on. But choose a moment when you are not interrupting another cat about to enter a trap. And if the trap cover didn't completely unfurl when a cat was caught, adjust it to cover the door. Please see TNR Essential Instructions once a cat is in an automatic trap for the second half of this lesson.